Welcome back, Patriots. We are back on Liberty or Death, the Super Nintendo classic from 1994. And we are the Americans fighting on hard difficulty against the British. And we have had lots of success so far, so we're going to hopefully keep that success going as we are trying to push and see if we can finish this rebellion off and gain our independence in 1777, which gives us a little over a year to do so. It's going to be a little tight and a little tough, but we've been making some aggressive moves. Now remember, we do have some house rules. I cannot call in a joint attack from the fleet. I also cannot capture more than one British officer at a time, and it has to be the first British officer that is offered to me. And I also cannot take more than one artillery piece into battle anymore, which is definitely limiting the speed at which we could maybe get some of this done. So with that being said, where we're at right now is things are going well at the moment. We are taking quite a bit of land. We've been aggressive. We would have had the whole of the central except for that fleet attack that came around us. And we are now then trying to move men as soon as we can finish off Trenton, hopefully sooner rather than later. We're going to move those guys and get them moving south along with Francis Marion to see what we can do as far as getting there. So we have Proctor. We can't take more people into battle anymore. So I figure, why bother? Let's send him up to replace Willett so Willett can get over into the line because he already has a cannon. He's better anyways. So we're going to do that. We're going to stick with the central here to see if we're in position to launch an attack at Trenton. I don't know if we will be, but we're sure going to try. We've got men in position. The question is, will we have the right men able to launch the right attacks? We should have never lost Trenton if Charles Lee wouldn't have got wounded, but it did. He did. And so we have to try again. And this time we have to attack from Monmouth because last time we did it from Philadelphia and that completely backfired as we could not get anybody over there thanks to the fleet that was blocking us. Hopefully we'll have some different success this time. And of course, as we do this, never are we getting to Monmouth. We keep getting everyone but that. So we're going to do a lot of parades here because most of these guys are not going to get into the fight unless somebody weaker comes along. But with an 80 reputation, we've got to send him to keep doing those. John Armstrong, capable commander, but left behind because he's not our best. And he's loyal. If you're going to leave guys behind, loyalty's important. They won't desert and ask for your money. And we're going to go ahead and do Whedon here. Whedon is going to be one that if we can bring him down with us, because his ability, thanks to his discipline, he can get his troops trained up super quickly. So he's going to be someone we're going to try to bring down south with us. He would be a great addition to the Southern Army that we're trying to form. Okay, General Washington. Let's see what we can put to battle here. And hopefully we can get the right guys in. We cannot bring Duportail. Oh. So that means we're going to have to wait one more. Because we want Duportail to sail to be over there in case we have to dislodge anybody. So let's jump ahead to the next major event. Well, that didn't take long because I decided after thinking about it, we're going to launch an attack with Philadelphia. Wait, let's make sure we have enough gunpowder. We do. Because then we can get Thompson and Duportail and the others to come in as reinforcements. We can hang back with Wayne and McDowell. Let's just make sure we bring enough to fight. We can hang back with them on the other side of the river and hopefully get everything done with the boys from Monmouth. All right, Muhlenberg. Foreman. Bedlock is well trained. Knowlton would be important to get. Then Glover. That'll be good enough. Might have to do some reforming before we head south. Or we'll move south, form our line, and then do some reforming once we get down there because some of these guys could still be very capable for us. Okay, so will they have the fleet? They do have the fleet. So Wayne is going to start up there. We'll make a move at night. So Thompson. Duportail. Glover will come around this way along with Muhlenberg. Foreman will be up here, and Knowlton can strike through the trees. What do they have? 2,000, so they have reinforced, it looks like. But they've got militia. Banning's a capable officer. Van Buskirk, always hated him as... Oh, and Maitland doesn't have any arms. James Grant, not trained. So we should still be able to do fine on this. Thanks to Duportail. We just have to make sure we stay out of harm's way. If we can get Knowlton at night and for the ambushing, he'll do a fantastic job for us. We should not have a problem avoiding the fleet with at least one of our soldiers. One of the regiments will be able to stay away for sure. We're going to move Duportail around. Now they have a fleet, which means they do have the ability to retreat. At night, we're going to try to make our way... Well, actually, it doesn't really matter, does it? All right, let's see what we can do. Let's open fire. That's a good start. Thompson, we are not going to attack with. He's coming at us. Okay, that's a good start. That's what we want to see. And they did not move their fleet, so that means they're kind of just stuck there. Gravely injured Grant, their best officer. Now we can launch some attacks. Okay, so we got flanking fire from Thompson. We've been discussing here on the channel in the comments the flanking fire. So I think it does. Discipline definitely helps. He's 100 discipline. 61 training will not usually get that support fire. So it's definitely a helper. Because Thompson is not getting it from Glover. As Glover has 75 training but only 52 discipline. So it definitely has something to do with the combination. There's probably some formula of some sort. And we're able to capture Grant. That's what we're going to try to keep. Okay. So this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Because we're going to be having to move Duportail into position without getting him shot and beat up. We're going to let Wayne make a run for it. Move this guy here. And we're going to try to move Wayne to the south. And draw the fleet down that way. Excellent. Let's move Knowlton up. We know we have the nighttime boost. Oh, okay. We're going to take it against Fanning. Fanning's a better officer. That's excellent. Good job, Knowlton. We will hold back for a moment there. We're going to use Glover. Get the supporting fire. So this is Van Buskirk. He is not going to be seen as a threat to us. Well done. Okay, Wayne is... we got to move him back. Wayne will not have the movement points to get off those hills before the fleet catches up with him. And he is asking for trouble as he takes on Knowlton at night. And Van Buskirk's asking for trouble anytime he attacks anybody because he is atrocious. $60 gone. My. Well done. think we do need to move Muhlenberg around. We'll leave Knowlton's to remain there. It's daytime, so he'll do a little bit more damage, but just a little bit more. Oh, that's fine too. Start with the barrage, and then we'll let Foreman get into the party. Now, these militia units will not be able to retreat because they're both New Jersey, and they cannot go beyond their jurisdiction. We are not going to get... Well, actually, Thompson can move up here. He will be able to handle Maitland. And now I guess we can move Muhlenberg back because he's not going to get all around there before it's all done. Actually, we need to move Duportail, though, through that way. So let's here. Finish him off. So very close. Okay, so they're coming after Thompson. This will be a good one to see. 122 to 21. And again, Thompson is not even well trained yet. He's decent, but not anywhere near what we expect of him with that hunter discipline. And their fleet's just sitting there instead of coming after Foreman. So we are thrilled about that. Let's shift around. Muhlenberg's just on a sightseeing tour, getting lost. Let's see what Glover can do. Not too shabby. Saving Knowlton till night. Okay, so now Glover's taking the attention. We don't really want that. Also can't move Foreman right there because that will be the thing that ends up costing us. All right, we're going to move forward. Take the barrage. Gravely injured Maitland. And that is going to be all she wrote for there. Just let's finish them off. Let Knowlton finish this off before he takes any pot shots at Duportail. We don't want any kind of crazy bullets injuring or mortally wounding in him. And Foreman's only at 5, so he can't actually do anything for us. But Thompson can go after the gravely injured Maitland and continue to knock away. Is he going to try to stay? Yep, he's going to flee. Okay, the central region is ours. James Grant, we will not release. He's a decent enough general. Definitely going to get rid of the militia because we're not going to worry about seeing them again. And we'll take that money gladly off their hands. So that is a success. Now it's about getting our men into position to continue the press in the north and to reposition to get there in the south. So with that being said, let's jump ahead to the next event. Let's see our new regiments that have arrived in Norwich and Ticonderoga. Oh, and we can get Proctor into the fight as well. Oh, okay, Pulaski and Tillman are back. And William Douglas, not a bad officer to have. We're going to bring him. We'll leave Proctor behind. Got to get Tillman and Pulaski trained up, but they're both discipline is fantastic. So that will not take too long to get them ready and into shape. We've been pushing around the north. We do know at Fort Western is where they have their strongest units, though. So we have to be careful there. In the south, we've got a nice little ring here of defense. They haven't been able to mount, or they haven't attempted really to mount an attack because they sailed around us to the central. And they only attacked with, what, like four or five guys. So that means they're not bringing in big waves of support anymore either. So let's jump ahead to the next unit as I get our men into position. We have a defensive battle on our hands. Waterville is attacking Berlin, and boy, are they in for a rude awakening whenever they get there. Nathaniel Greene just moved in. With Henry Knox, it's going to be, this is what we want. We want a chance to send our best against theirs in a position where we have the upper hand. We are not going to have Pulaski going yet, but let's see what we have at Three Rivers that can maybe provide some help. Gates, DeKalb. Oh, we can't send DeKalb. The others are all definitely good. Gates, for sure, has the ability to attack. So they are sending some from Fort Western as well. So that's good news for us. Now, they just maybe got some reinforcements here. I'm not real sure. Let's see what they hit us with. Whoa, they got a lot. So they got Christian Fabiger. Not trained, though. Andrew Lewis. Phillips. Cornwallis is going to be a tough one. Garth. McLean. Okay, so they're not trained up. Futter is not either. Meanwhile, we have Nathaniel Green. We've got Lafayette. Daniel Morgan. We're going to put him up here. We got Putnam. They're going to get attacked. We're going to put Knox back here. Tillman. So hopefully that none of them get hit. And here come our reinforcements, which I would argue are much better than what they are sending at us. Oh, I thought I had an extra one. Unfortunately, it's going to take us a while to get these guys over there. This is the fight we were looking for. And they don't have the powder either. Oh, they have boats. Finally. It's Cornwallis, though, from the beginning, so it makes sense. And he's the one that we're the most worried about. We are going to keep Morgan in the trees. Part of me wants to just go out there and try to attack right off the bat. We at least want to move Knox up here. Let him start getting some shots in. That's beautiful. Oh, he's going to get charged. Putnam is not trained. I forgot about that. So let's pull him back. We're going to wait. Let them come off the hill. We will try to entrench Tillman. We got one training in with him. He's already up to 65. Oh, nope. We got to bring these boys up. Gates would be able to get over there quicker if it weren't for all the hills that we're going to have to navigate. Hopefully we take this force out before that. Cornwallis is the big fish. Oh, Futter already withdrew. That's a shame. We got 92 men out of that. But we also know they are loaded at Fort Western. It would not surprise me if they launch an attack with Fort Western. Oh! Those sneaky guys. And they're going to hit us with a lot. All right, well, we got Willett and Boyd. Oh, my goodness. They're doing it. Just as we were pulling everybody around there, they're going to hit New York. We can send Arnold. He's not the best, but we're going to leave because Arnold takes forever to get ready. We're just going to let him sit in Norwich. So this means we will probably be facing Cornwallis for sure. I think Pitches with him. We have Willett, but I don't think Willett's going to be enough by any means. So they're probably going to get Ticonderoga. If they get another place or two and thin out some, that's okay. We can bash them back. We do have Ethan Allen up here. But William Howe is another beast. But what we're going to do is we're going to use Allen and try to hammer them all the way. I tell you, with Boyd as well. Actually, they are coming at us with a cannon. Okay, is that Howe? Oh, that's Cornwallis. Well, although I want to fight, I think we need to retreat. Oh, that's such a shame. How many men do they have again? 2,600 men. So we're looking at several. Allen doesn't. Oh, I'd love if Boyd were trained. I'd take a shot at him. But I think it's best we just withdraw, live to fight another day. We're going to have to redirect. But this is meaning that they have vacated basically Massachusetts up there, so we can hopefully strike and drive through them. The problem is they could roll through New York if we're not careful. So we're going to need to reposition some of our troops as well, such up here in Three Rivers. But what I want to do is see if we can go ahead and take Canada. If we can take Quebec, we cannot yet. So we'll hold off on that. I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take Waterville, and then that will help provide support for Quebec. We're going to lose some more land here in New York, most likely, but they get thinned out every time they do. Let's launch an assault at Fort Western. Go ahead and gobble up all of North. They've vacated it. It's theirs. It's ours for the taking. And this is a very capable group. All well trained, well armed. And they just left their fleet. We're going to take everything with us. I don't foresee this being a problem anymore because Howe and Cornwallis are both gone. And those were the big ones that we were worried about. We also now moved all of our men over that we were ready to fight with. So depending on how much they have, okay, so they are sending support though. So that means they have at least multiple units in each of those other two. This will give us a good look at how many multiple units they have based on how many are sitting up there in support. So William Washington is going to be over here because he can cut through the forest. We got Lafayette leading the way. Daniel Morgan is going to sit back there. Putnam, we know, is not really ready for this fight. Whoa, okay. They have some numbers. So Lewis, not ready. What do they have going on up here? They have people. Von Kraft. Fermoy, who is not ready. Preston is a tough one. Futter could be tough. Delbont doesn't have a cannon, so he's not going to be anything, and Pringle's not going to be an issue for us. What we need to do is worry about how we're going to take out these men. And we put Putnam back there because I thought that's where the spot would be that he would be safe. We're going to have to get guys through these hills. This is going to be a bloody battle. But one that if we can win it, and win it resoundingly, we open up a pathway to carve through Massachusetts. Because I'm guessing all of their men are at the front line here, which means they'll have nothing behind. If we can weaken these reinforcements and keep our men strong, we're going to be able to wipe the floor with them. All right, we got to get out of here. We're going to get William Washington up here to meet Futter, because I am confident we will win that fight. We're going to put Lafayette up here to box in Mr. Von Kraft. Preston's the only one we're really concerned about. Lafayette can hold the line all by himself up there with Morgan's help. If we put Knox back over there, it's going to be even better. All right, Morgan, do your thing. Oh, there we are. Daniel Morgan again doing Daniel Morgan things. Let's let Lafayette. Excellent. And now we can move Morgan over this way. And we can move. All right. Let's charge. I trust our cavalry over theirs. That's why. We can then move Knox up here to launch a bombardment to weaken him even more. And then we're going to get Tillman up this way. Even though he just got back, he's not at his best. Thomas is at his best. That's who we need to actually block the hills up there. If we can get him up there. Because if we can weaken again, Let's knock out their reinforcements as much as we can in this battle, because it's going to make the next battles to topple Massachusetts that much better. Oh, he's moving through. Okay. Didn't really expect that. Excellent. All right. So he's down to 133. We're going to start with a bombardment. We're going to let Morgan do an ambush on Preston up here. And then I think we're going to let William Washington charge at him. Oh, excellent. Again. And now William Washington gets to show what he's capable of. Beautiful. Okay. Let's make sure Futter retreats before he goes after Knox. We don't really want to see that. Who's behind? Oh, Fermoy's not a problem. So we need to take Von Kraft. We'll have a clear pathway to Fermoy. We're going to let Ward move up here first. Oh, he's going after Washington. Okay. And we were able to capture Thomas Futter. Let's see. It is nighttime. Daniel Morgan has the best. 52. I messed that up. I should have moved on to the plains and then charged through. That was a mistake. No harm, no foul on this one, though. Let's continue to press this. I'll take it at him. If we can capture another one to take him out of commission, I am perfectly fine with that. And there's his mistake going after Morgan. 55-1. That is about the odds that the British are going to win this battle. Oh! Devant's building a bridge. You foolish man. Is he foolish enough to move in so we can bombard? Will they move on there so we can launch an ambush? That'd be fantastic if they do. All right. Let's move up to the mountains. Get us even better before we launch our assault. And now we're going to move Tillman up. And let's go after Preston. Thomas is going to move to the south. They built a bridge for us to move over. That was very nice of them. That's going to make us easier to get to the fort. Ah, he got away. That one we don't worry about as much. That's the one I was kind of hoping to get. Charles Preston. All of them are getting away, but that just means we're going to pin them in up in the north. And this foolish attack. That's what I was hoping for. And then their guy is way off. Does he have a boat? He doesn't, so I don't know what he's moving at. Let's launch our first attack. Start wearing them down. We are not going to be launching attack after attack at that fort. I don't think we're going to need to anyways. I think they're going to retreat. And we're going to have the field. Let's keep it moving, boys. I don't see the need to move any of the other guys. We can only get so many surrounding them anyways once we get to the fort. He should be retreating on the next go. Move Thomas in. It is not worth an assault yet. Prefer to them to be one more, then we can launch some attacks. Do not get Delbont. And we're not going to be able to launch a move up to where I was hoping we'd be able to get 2 ambushes from Washington and Morgan, because those trees are already being occupied. But we're going to launch one more. Well, no, let's get some help. We want to weaken their last force anyways. We're not worried about them. If we can weaken them, then it just paves the way for an easier one. Okay, that's a good capture. Andrew Lewis, take him off the field. Gladly. Actually, let's release him. That means we have to release the rest too. Fudders, who I would have rather had just because cavalry is so dangerous. But now as they march in New York, we're going to be marching up Massachusetts. We're going to be ready to launch another assault. And if hopefully we'll be able to launch with Berlin at Waterville, and we'll get to see what they might have at Quebec that can launch or that can send in reinforcements. Was saving up body points to try to get that assault. So we'll see if we can do it. Here's the group that we're not worried about. Okay, let's get some new regiments. A new regiment right where we could use it as well. Renaslayer, not good at all, but he will occupy a spot for us if we can recruit him over it and we can actually defend. But I perceive Ticonderoga launching some attacks at us sooner rather than later. But we got to get through this central one first, so we'll pick back up with the next event. Well, we are going to press the initiative here from Fort Western. We're going to go after Penobscot Bay. We might be overextending. I'm not sure. But we're going to send Ward, Cadwallader, and Varnum. All are solid. All are well armed. And hopefully this will be all we need to seal the coastline. Because once we get the coastline sealed, that's going to help protect a little bit on what they can do. Now, they have more men coming from St. John, so that is a concern. I'm not really all that concerned with what they have coming from Waterville because we already beat them up pretty good. So what will they have coming from St. John is more of the question. Oh, they have quite a few men coming. Charles Asgill is not who we're worried about. Maitland's not a concern. Leslie is tougher. We got Thomas Pringle, and we have Rydasal. One boat. This man does not. Asgill, ooh, he is well armed with lots of good morale. So here's what we're going to try to do. We're going to move Varnum and Cadwallader onto the hill. Let them come to the shallow water. Ward's going to make his way around towards Asgill. We've got to be able to win that one-on-one or we're going to be in trouble. But if we can get them to come onto the shallows here, where we can have 2 against 1, and we can maybe entrench as well, we can knock out their reinforcements, which will further pave the way for us to maybe gobble up as much of this territory as possible, and quickly to turn around and go after Ticonderoga. Now, while we were off, I was able to move, I think, 9 people from Philadelphia down into North Carolina because a fleet, our 15-ship fleet, magically appeared, which means we now have troops right on the verge. We left Washington and Philadelphia. I was a little worried that the Southern Fleet and the British Southern Fleet would turn us around and I'd lose the war. They didn't do it, though. We were able to sneak into, I think it was Roanoke, where I slid them in, and now we have guys who are just like Thompson and so many others are just right there. We've also moved Marion and Kosciuszko down into North Carolina, so we're amassing forces there, and we've got enough that I think if we can get some money away in the way to continue to build up and replenish our forces, I think we got the forces that can go through the South pretty well. And so 1777 is still on the cards for us. That is not what we wanted. The absolute one thing we did not want to have happen. Why does that happen? Let's see what Ward does here. Oh, that is not good. Okay. Not okay. All right, we can win that one at least. Oh, that's better. This is not what we wanted to see. And now they're off. The whole plan is just gone. All right, we're going to fight this one out. Let's get Cadwallader. He's going to be in for a beating anyways. Let's see what we can do. Try to keep him in that shallow area. Oh, beautiful. All right, we're going to knock him down. Maybe we can scare Asgill into retreating. Varnum, you, sir, you help us pull this one out. You might get yourself a promotion. All right, we're going to keep focusing on here. We're not worried about the shallow guy. Again, if it weren't for this lucky shot they got, I'd be feeling a lot more confident. Problem is Ward going up against Asgill like that, he wasn't the best for us either. Now, we will put Cadwallader back up onto that hillside once they retreat. Okay, we captured Maitland. Oh, okay. 90 to 29. There we go. Okay, so we need to reposition. Cadwallader is going to take a little bit of a beating until Ward can get down here. But the goal is knock out the reinforcements. We've got them down to 1,200 total. And then maybe the numbers will intimidate Asgill and get him to flee. Oh, I forgot to move our men down. But I don't think they're in position where they can... Yeah, he's not going to be able to move up to a hill in one turn. So we'll defend here. We'll get Ward in here so he can help finish it off. And we'll start marching Cadwallader over the hills to put pressure on Asgill and see if we can intimidate him into retreating. He's so well armed, and the morale being 100 is why he's so dangerous. Kudos to Varnum, though, man. They may not be trained, but Varnum, that 100 training, the 72 morale, he is destroying them. Understated officer. We're going to let those 90 men sit. Because I think Leslie's the one that worries me the most. I think that's who we have here. Yeah, he's the one that's going to cause us the most trouble. Oh, no, right as Saul. That's right, Leslie's already gone. Ward's going to help. Ward can take him down. So now the question is, can we get enough to where Asgill decides to retreat? We got to keep Varnum healthy enough to where this will work. Okay. His men are so good in 320. Cadwallader, why did you get shot? He might still be enough to serve his purpose. All right. Radisal will be retreating fairly soon. Probably one more attack should do it. I can't complain about Cadwallader getting hurt and Lee getting hurt in those battles because we've been very lucky ourselves in some of the shots we've been able to pull off. But I didn't want him to chase Varnum. That's frustrating. Okay. He's down enough men. We can start moving our men. Will Asgill continue to fight once Radisal retreats? I'm hoping he flees. He's going to fight. So we got to get Ward up there. Huh. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put Cadwallader over here. Let him absorb some of Asgill. It's not going to be pretty. Oh, wow, that was horrible. That was far worse than I expected. But all I want is Varnum and Cadwallader to knock Asgill down ever so slightly, even if it's only another 50 men. And then Ward will hopefully be able to finish him off. We got to get him down as much as we can. Let's see what happens. Maybe a night attack will be confusing and disorienting. No, apparently not. We need Ward to have numbers. All right. Cadwallader. At this point, you're going to need reforming anyways, so we'll just continue this plan. All right. Varnum's turn. We are not retreating yet. Ward is more than capable, except he doesn't have the tactics. If he had Putnam's tactics or Thomas's tactics, we'd be fine. Let's see. Can we get the flanking to support? Okay. I was hoping that would do a little bit more than it did. Okay, time to pull him back. So 314 to 299. Oh, it's a 15 man advantage that they have. Will Asgill win it? This is going to be the attack that determines it. Oh, he got it by 1. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. In an effort to try to narrow the gap. Oh, he lost his many. 3 and 3. Try again. We want Asgill to lose more. Okay, 5. So we gained 3. This could completely backfire. Okay, we knocked him 2 more. So 265 to 254. Cadwallader, do you have enough men? You do. Knock him down 1 or 2 more. 2 more. Okay. 263. It is right at the end. 9-man difference. We just have to knock him down enough where he retreats. We don't have to knock him to 0. Okay, there we go. 5-man advantage. We should be able to, as long as Ward is good at dodging bullets. 28-28. Not what we wanted. Oh, it's going the other way. Come on. That's good. 10-man advantage. It's ever so close. I'm still worried that they're going to have a magic bullet again. 19 to 15. They are below 100. That should be enough to get him to retreat. Oh, he's going to stick with it since it's got us so low. Oh my goodness, gravely injured. Are you kidding me? And now we're going to lose this battle. Take another shot, see what happens. Oh, we're still ahead. Still ahead. Oh, goodness. It's so close. It is so close. Get another wounded guy up here. Maybe it'll scare him into retreating. Okay, now we got to back him out. I don't have enough. I don't trust Varnum. I think he's going to lose 10 guys if we do that. Oh, it's tied. This is the smallest engagement I think I've ever been in. And he will not retreat. He knows he's got us. Will you retreat now? Oh my goodness. We lost this fight. Unbelievable. We had this. And somehow we don't get it. Let's move Ward away. 2 gravely injured. If those did not happen, we go away victors. Instead, we got to send in William Washington and John Thomas to finish the job. What a disappointing loss. Oh my goodness. That is shocking. Well, get us to Berlin so we can launch another attack. Let's go ahead and buy some food here so that way Mason can stock up for enough to where he will be happy for the rest of the war. I can't believe that just happened. 2 gravely injured. I mentioned a lucky shot, and they got a lucky shot. We got a drill here. We have to get these guys ready. They're not very good outside of Ethan Allen. But in Albany, that's where Willett is. So we have support nearby. So the numbers could potentially intimidate them enough to keep them bottled in. We have support in different places as well. But if they want to come out and stretch themselves a little bit, I'm not going to be too upset about that. We're just going to skip through these. We'll do parades later. I want to get to Berlin for a new attack. Oh, of course, Ticonderoga could be deciding to launch their own attack at us. Which a lot of times they get aggressive when they launch those naval invasions. This is one that's going to help us maybe hold the line, though. So we got Boyd and Willett. Willett I'm confident of, and I'm hoping we can use him at the right spot where he'll be good for us. Douglas is another one that is very good, or not very good, but he's going to be solid if we can get him trained up enough. All right, Christopher Green. Okay, and his cousin, there we go. Nathaniel Green, you read my mind. Oh, we can't get everybody we want. But we can get enough of what we need. We're not going to send any money. If we can win this and they don't have much supporting them, that would be a really good sign for us. We'll send Thomas. I don't think we'll worry about sending the 10-man Varnum. We know what we're going to have to do. Reform. All right, we're going to send all of these guys. Well, 3's enough. And they have no support coming from Quebec or St. John's. So we have thinned them out up there. We got to keep pressing the initiative. And hopefully we can win this without too much going against us. Oh, okay, that's what we want to see. John Burgoyne, General Johnny. Gentleman Johnny. Sorry, but he doesn't have any training. Oh, yeah, that's right. Putnam can't get out of his own way. Oh, we can't use... I sent a call by mistake. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's going to flee anyways. So he's sitting up there somewhere adding support. I really hope he went to Quebec because that's where we have stronger forces. So let's see what we get with Quebec and see what we can attack with. I need to get John Sullivan off of Long Island. All right. Let's send after Quebec and continue to attack. Attack, attack, attack. And these are the guys I would prefer to attack with anyways, because DeKalb then can be behind to help return Meigs in Montreal, defend that if he needs to. We can send Knox in to support from Waterville. That will be the artillery support. We'll get to find out if this is where Burgoyne went as well. All right, let's get to it. Final battle of the episode. Luckily, we have Knox here to build some bridges as we need. So let's put him here. Okay. It's just Carden. I'm not familiar with this guy. Carden. He's not very good, which is always a good sign. We're not going to worry about Tillman. He can stay over there. There's no boat. We might see a retreat right off the bat here. Which is fine. That means they're just going to be consolidating. Yep. So we can trap them. But we have all of Canada now. That is good news. Awesome. Okay, so then in the south, 38 is where we have moved our men. I want to get to that actually before we wrap this up. So I do want to show what we have in this area. So we have 1,200 men here in Georgetown. They're not well trained. They're not the best, but they're there. Caswell is trying to recruit one in New Bern, get one more unit to us militia-wise. Benjamin Cleveland sitting here in Wilmington, North Carolina, not worrying about it. 42, though, Charlotte. We've got McIntosh that is getting ready to fight because nearby we have men that are going to be coming in to help us with this fight. We're going to be able to launch 2 prongs, I believe, once we get to Charlotte. We're going to be able to send Kosciuszko because, again, we can't use more than 1 cannon, an artillery regiment in a battle. So we're going to send Kosciuszko going down in the west, and then we're going to have Duportail going in the east. So Guilford Courthouse, there we go. We're going to move this one down into Charlotte. Marion is getting ready. I don't know if, well, it depends on who can move. But this is who we have. We've got Marion, Lawrence, Kosciuszko, and Howe, as well as Seaver. These are solid, great individuals. These are going to be leading one of the things with McIntosh. That's 5 units. They can easily take most of South Carolina there, or at least we might even move them once they take 96, which is number 45. That's confusing. We might move them to go after Georgia while we use Thompson here in Warrenton. As you can see, we're going to have them, and we're going to have to move by land. We don't want to get deterred by that sea. Fleet sitting there. This is what we have. We got Thompson, Dupertail, von Steuben, Glover, Muhlenberg, Gainsvert, Harmer, Wayne, Lillington. Lillington is the one we're leaving behind. So this is a solid force. Battle-hardened men coming down from the Pennsylvania campaign in New Jersey. I'm excited to see what that has in store for us, but that'll have to wait for the next episode. Well, let's see what we have here. Oh, we're just back here. So we're going to be able to move men into position. So this is where we'll pick up on the next episode. Thanks again, as always, for joining me. Thanks for the likes, comments. All that's awesome. I love it. And just until the next episode, take care. And as always, have yourselves an awesome day.